Breaking news. Tension is exploding inside the Los Angeles Chargers camp. And it's not just rumors anymore. Massive developments are unfolding that could completely shake the foundation of this team before Week 1. And Bolts Nation, you need to hear this. 3 major stories are breaking out of Costa Mesa right now, and every one of them could change how this season plays out. The kind of headlines that turn optimism into panic and stability into chaos. If you're a Chargers fan, this might be the most important update you'll hear all offseason. Chargers fans, brace yourselves. Something big is going down at training camp, and it's unfolding fast. Your Los Angeles Chargers are caught in the eye of a storm. 3 unfolding crises that could completely flip this roster upside down before the season even begins. We're talking about a rising star's injury that's sending panic through the coaching staff, a former top 10 player failing miserably in a shocking position switch, and your WR1, yes, your franchise wide receiver, suddenly surrounded by whispers of durability concerns that could cripple the entire 2025 offensive plan. The Chargers camp isn't just intense, it's boiling over. Jobs are on the line. Careers are at a crossroads. And Jim Harbaugh? He's being pushed to make decisions no coach ever wants to face this close to opening week. But before we dive deeper into these game-changing updates, if you're a true Chargers fan, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss another crucial update. This channel brings you real football news, not fluff, so let's grow Bolts Nation together. Alright, let's get into the new developments. Injury alert. One of the Chargers' most expensive young stars is dealing with something the team isn't openly talking about. Behind the scenes, though, staff members are genuinely concerned. The phrase being used around camp, managing the situation carefully. That doesn't exactly scream confidence. Position experiment gone wrong. A once elite defender, someone fans once considered untouchable, has been thrown into a new role this offseason, and it's backfiring badly. His reps are down. His frustration is up, and insiders are starting to whisper, is this the end of his Chargers journey? Franchise WR in trouble. Fans love him. Coaches trust him. But when you're supposed to be the offensive anchor, and your body won't cooperate, it puts everything at risk. The WR1 is under the microscope right now. Every missnap, every extra stretch with trainers, is raising eyebrows. But here's what's driving everyone in Bolts Nation absolutely insane right now. This Zion Johnson experiment, it's turning into a full-blown disaster. What started as a bold draft weekend announcement by GM Joe Hortiz, trying Johnson out at center, is now spiraling into something that could cost the man his future in powder blue. Let's be clear, this isn't just a casual position switch. This is a serious identity crisis for one of the guys Harbaugh once called an Elite 10 player. And based on what's happening at training camp, it's fair to ask, does Zion Johnson even belong on this roster anymore? The signs are all there, and they're ugly. Multiple false starts, bad snaps, and the kind of mistake you expect from a rookie, not a former first-round pick. Johnson launched a snap over Trey Lance's head in live practice. That's not just a slip-up, that's a meltdown. Worse yet, the coaching staff isn't even giving him a full runway to figure it out. They've held 3 padded practices so far, and Johnson has only been used at center in one of them. Let that sink in. If this coaching staff really believed in the switch, wouldn't they be feeding him every rep possible? Instead, he's barely getting looks. And that silence from the staff? It's deafening. But here's the real gut punch for Chargers fans. Jean-Marie Sallier, the same guy who lost his starting role last season, is now getting first-team work at left guard. He's slimmed down by 35 pounds. He's refocused. And now, he might be taking Johnson's job. Meanwhile, Johnson has slipped to the second-team center, hanging on to the depth chart by a thread. So no, this isn't about finding the right fit anymore. This is about a former cornerstone of your offensive line being overtaken, mentally, physically, and positionally. And unless something changes fast, the next headline could be even more brutal. Zion Johnson. On the outside looking in, this isn't just about a bad training camp. This is about Zion Johnson's entire career teetering on the edge. Let's rewind. Even last season, teams were circling him on the game plan, lining up their best pass rushers right over him. Why? Because they knew he couldn't handle stunts, couldn't pick up interior twists. He was the weak link, and everyone knew it. Fast forward to today, and instead of fixing those flaws, he's being asked to reinvent himself at a brand new position, under a brand new head coach, in a system that demands precision. And so far, it's not working. Now all eyes turn to this week's Hall of Fame game. And for Zion Johnson, this isn't just another preseason wrap. It's make or break. Coach Harbaugh has confirmed it. Johnson is getting the start at center. He'll play a couple of drives, maybe more. If he holds his ground, maybe this position switch survives another week. But if he slips up again, if he misfires on another snap, or gets bullied in protection, then we're not just talking about losing a starting spot. We're talking about a former first-round pick fighting to stay on the roster, period. And yet, Johnson's freefall isn't the only storm brewing in Costa Mesa. There's another situation unfolding, one that's got the entire medical team on high alert. It involves one of the Chargers' most expensive young stars, a player who looked like the heart of this defense last season, until his body betrayed him. That player? Elijah Molden, the $18 million breakout sensation. The guy who showed up from Tennessee and immediately gave Jesse Minter's defense exactly what it needed: range, instincts, and leadership. He didn't just flash. He took over. 75 tackles, 7 pass breakups, 3 picks. He turned the secondary into something that could actually be trusted. But then came that game in Foxborough. One awkward step, one hit, one cracked fibula, and just like that, Molden was gone. So was the defensive momentum the Chargers had built all year long. Now he's back. Sort of. He's practicing in a limited capacity, moving carefully, testing that leg. But no one's sure yet if he's ready to be the same player, or if that injury stole a gear from the guy who looked like the future of this defense. As Chargers training camp pushes forward, one player is under more intense scrutiny than anyone else, and not for his performance. It's Elijah Molden. Every single rep he takes, every movement he makes during drills is being tracked like a countdown clock by both the coaching staff and medical team. And for good reason. Molden isn't just another name on the depth chart. He's the heartbeat of this secondary, the signal caller for an entire defense. Now here's the silver lining, and it's giving Chargers fans reason to breathe cautiously. This week, for the first time since his injury, Molden returned to position-specific drills. He's not just standing around or working on conditioning. He's moving. He's reading. He's reacting. Defensive coordinator Jesse Minter didn't hide his excitement. He described Molden as obsessively locked in, focused on rebuilding his body the right way. The training staff? They're being surgical with his return. No shortcuts, no gambles. They know if Molden comes back, he needs to stay back. Why does it matter this much? Because Molden's impact goes far beyond his stat line. He's the player who reads shifts before they happen. He's the voice making last-second checks that kill explosive plays before they even start. He's the kind of defender that holds a fragile unit together in chaos. And with guys like Tarheeb Still and Cam Hart gaining momentum, having Molden back in the fold could elevate this entire secondary from solid to scary. With the Hall of Fame game just days away, the fact that Molden is back in pads, even if limited, is the kind of quiet milestone that could turn into a loud storyline by week 1. But Molden's progress isn't the only thing the Chargers are monitoring closely. There's another situation unfolding, and this one? It's got the entire offensive side of the ball walking on eggshells. The player in question? Ladd McConkey, your WR1, your do-it-all threat, your franchise receiver. Officially, it's being labeled as a minor issue. Unofficially, it's setting off alarms. And here's why. Because this is the same Ladd McConkey who battled through hip, shoulder, and knee problems for half of last season. The same McConkey who still managed 82 catches, nearly 1,150 yards, and 7 touchdowns, while limping through pain. Now, just a few days into camp, there's already concern about his availability. No one's panicking outwardly, but inside the building, people are nervous. Very nervous. Because when your most dangerous offensive weapon is showing signs of wear this early, it forces the entire offensive strategy into uncertainty. Jim Harbaugh may downplay it as precautionary, and maybe it is. But history says otherwise. And if McConkey isn't 100%, this offense could suddenly be missing its engine. Ladd McConkey isn't just another talented wide receiver, he's the engine, the heartbeat, the piece this offense was supposed to be built around. Analysts across the league are already calling him a star. He ranked 4th in yards per route run against man coverage last year. That's elite company. He dominates the middle of the field, beats top corners clean, and plays with the kind of fire that turns third down nightmares into first down magic. But here's the part no one wants to say out loud. What if his body can't hold up? That's the brutal truth quietly hanging over Chargers camp like a thundercloud. He's already been labeled with a minor injury, and yet he's shut down. No practice this week, no snaps in the Hall of Fame game, no guarantees he's full go for the rest of camp. The coaching staff won't panic publicly, but behind closed doors, they're holding their breath. Because this isn't just about missing a few practices. This is about a pattern. Last year, McConkey was a warrior, 82 catches, nearly 1,150 yards, 7 touchdowns, all while battling hip, shoulder, and knee injuries from midseason onward. And now, here we are again. Before week 1, already back in the medical tent. Wide receivers coach Sanjay Lal tried to downplay it, but even he had to admit, McConkey plays too hard for his own good. He's the type to run into a wall if it means moving the chains, even if it costs him another week on the sideline. And that's the issue. That fearless attitude that makes him unstoppable on Sunday could be the very thing that cuts his season short again. And here's the most dangerous part for the Chargers. There is no plan B. Mike Williams has retired. Trey Harris is talented, but raw. He's not ready to be a WR1, not yet. Quentin Johnston, still struggling with consistency. This depth chart behind McConkey is thinner than most fans realize. Remember what happened in last year's playoff collapse against Houston? It was McConkey, and only McConkey, carrying the offense on his back. Now imagine that same scenario, without him on the field. He's reportedly studying how to fall better, literally learning how to hit the ground in safer ways. But let's be real. In a league where 250-pound linebackers fly like heat-seeking missiles, landing softly only buys you so much protection. Jim Harbaugh is making the right call by playing it safe. But every day McConkey misses adds one more layer of uncertainty to an offense that was supposed to take the leap in 2025. Yes, they upgraded the line. Yes, they added Najee Harris and drafted Amari Hampton. But if WR1 isn't available, none of it may matter. This is the storm that's quietly building over the Chargers camp. A broken offensive line experiment, a fragile but crucial defensive leader, and a superstar receiver who might not make it to week 1 at full strength. These aren't just preseason worries. These are the kinds of problems that define a season. The Hall of Fame game will give us a first glimpse. But the questions already hanging over this team, they could be the difference between a playoff run or another year of disappointment.